All right, and we are live. Hello, all you beautiful people out there, fellow wargamers and history buffs. This is La Bataille de Moscowa, and we are at I believe, the 1220 turn. Yes, the 1220 turn. We're partway through, and we are playing this using Regs 13 rules. Regs 30 rules. This is where you have chit pull, and that's then going to activate the particular specific division or specific corps that has that marker on it. And then you go ahead and move, and then at the very end, after all the chits have been pulled, then you do your fire combat, melee combat, and then rally phase. So that's kind of how that works. So if you're tuning in for the first time, we're partway through the battle. I'm playing the Russians. I kind of have the Russian left wing, which is Bagration's army of the West. And so I'm up against mostly Davout's First Corps, and now there are cavalry and some of the Young Guard and people like that are maneuvering to put a squeeze on me. Over in the center, we've had a fair amount of action with lots of artillery back and forth, and then over on the far west of the map, we've had a case where Eugene's corps has really kind of gotten beaten up by the Russians, and they're trying to kind of find a way of salvaging the situation there, using cavalry and artillery to try to slow down the Russian assault on that side of the map. So that's where we're at. And greetings, Grim Harbinger. Good to see you. I'm going to join my colleagues in Discord, and we'll catch up on the discussion. So let's see what's going on.
And you just get better impact from your fire.
Yeah.
And then I introduce you to 150 millimeter OVA.
That 1942 innovation, yes.
That's all right. Don't we have our Katushin rockets here at Moscow? So
Did you see there's a
Sure.
new microprocessor that was been released by Texas Instruments? I know this is nerdy stuff. But if you did,
No.
great. But if you didn't, the point is the dang thing, and it's a legitimate computer, is 1.4 millimeters square. This thing's small
wow,
enough you can put on a
Wow.
bullet and, put guidance system on it. It's so tiny.
wow.
And it's a full function computer, and they're 70 cents a piece.
Oh my gosh, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's like a computer you would have used maybe like in the 80s or the late 70s, like a TRS 80 or something. But I mean, you can do stuff with that.
Yeah, yeah. Wow, that's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Send
So
cooler
tiny.
things to Mars.
Well, you think about it, the whole spaceship then becomes a lot smaller.
Mm-hmm.
That's
As we
true.
condense these parts even smaller.
Well, I think it was on the Hubble telescope. They've got, some sort of much, much older processor. And at some point in time, they're like, should we go put a new one on? And everyone was like, it's still working. Why mess with
Yep.
it?
Yep. Don't fix what I broke.
Yeah.
Pretty
What
good
were
at it.
those, like 386s, and then it was a 486 motherboard or whatever it
No,
was?
they may
So
have
I
been
think,
threes. 'Cause I don't,
yeah. So I think
yeah,
the
threes.
Hubble had a
Threes.
386 or something on it.
Yep.
So
There
I
was
know
a
some of
mission
the, a
to
lot of
Haley's.
the Mars stuff was 96, 9800 or whatever, 9680 or 90, yeah, whatever it is.
right.
There was a mission to Haley's Comet in 1986 that flew past the comet with had like a shield in front, went through the dust, and it had a camera that had to track the comet as it went by. This thing was going past the comet at a speed of something like 40 kilometers per second.
Oh,
That's
wow.
orbital velocity. And it had a TRS-80 controlling it, and that was all they needed. But they could control the angular rotation of the camera with a TRS-80.
Yeah. Well, we did a lot of stuff with those TRS 80s there, those trash 80s as we called them. So
Mm-hmm.
they were kind of fun.
Yeah. You could do a lot with one.
That
Indeed.
was the
They're pretty
first
neat.
computer our school got, I remember.
Yeah, well, they were inexpensive enough that a lot of people could acquire them.
I still have some history. I have a computer called a VIC-20.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I had a Commodore
Crazy.
64. They're very similar.
Yeah, I still have it in the garage somewhere.
We're making games on that.
Well, my dad had bought, I think he had one or two Osborne computers, which were like in a big suitcase kind of a thing. And they were the first sort of portable computer with this big, this big suitcase kind of a thing. So when he closed down one of his offices and moved stuff, he said, well, here, why don't you take it? And I'm like, okay, fine. I didn't know what to do with this. This was 20 years ago or more. So I have at the time when I was coaching at UC Irvine, I had a whole boatload of computer science majors on the fencing team. And I made some sort of comment like, oh, yeah, I got this old Osborne. They're like, what? What? Can we see it? I'm like, not only that, you could have it. This thing weighs a ton. So I think I gave it to one of my students. And so he was as happy as a clam to have this ancient dinosaur that he could mess around with. So
Fun times.
indeed. Well, I know that David is doing some traveling and he's got some things on his plate. So I'm not sure. I did play with him last night on Vassal. And I know he was trying to tune in from, a hotel or something like that. So we had a couple times that we were dropping. So I'm not sure what his status is. I think he's only got one command left to move anyway. So I suppose we could kind of get started and see if he joins us. Does that sound
Sounds
fair,
superb.
gentlemen?
Sure.
Okay. Then Brennan, why don't you go ahead and grab a chit and plunk it down. Leader phase. Okay. Well, we probably all have leaders that need to move somewhere in the universe.
Do we know if Napoleon is moving?
That's a good question.
If he is, he would be moving to stack with the artillery so that he can fire it. Because that's where. So he'd been there, and then the artillery prolonged forward. So I'm pretty sure that David would have put him there. But we can always wait until he shows up. But I'm fairly confident that that's what his intentions were.
What if he has other leaders he wants to move around?
Well, he can move them around when he gets here. It's not going to make a huge impact. A leader here, a leader there. It's not really going to, flip anything around that I'm aware of. And we can just have him move his leaders when he gets here. So
We'll have the advantage of a little bit of a time machine.
exactly. We all try to be kind.
It's so hard.
Well, the one thing though is I did see that, and I got an email from John Krantz that the registration is open for Consim.
Oh yeah, I saw the email. I gotta bribe him to change the dates for Consim in the future.
Yeah, that's gonna be a little bit of a mess, I think. I don't see that happening right away. Probably going to have to wait a little bit.
I mean, he did mention at one point he might end up moving it to Dallas, but I don't think so at this point.
He already runs one in Dallas.
Well, he did. He hasn't had the
that's
one in
only a couple
Dallas in a
days.
while. Yeah. Yeah, it's been a while since he'd done the one in Dallas. So
I thought the most recent one was like just 2 years ago, wasn't it?
well, I don't know.
Maybe a little longer.
Yeah, maybe 3 years
Oh.
ago. Yeah. Yeah, it's been a little while since he'd done the one in Dallas. So
So what would be the logic of him moving from Phoenix or from Tempe to Dallas?
I think he was just flexing in regards to the hotel and continuing to have a good deal there.
Oh, is the hotel giving him problems?
I don't know.
Oh,
I thought there was something about the hotel that he had to renegotiate the contract, that sort of thing.
oh.
So at this point, I think they're good to go, but I don't know. Just rumor had it.
All right, I'm looking for leaders. It's going to take me a while. I apologize.
that's okay. There's no time limit.
You might, if you need to. Hold another chit while I do this. That's okay. Some of these ADCs are hard to find.
French 2.
French 2. That is Marshall Marat on his horse.
Yeah.
Time for your grand charge.
It's not going to be that grand.
Time for your mediocre charge.
I can do it right now. It's easy. So I just put a charge marker on him at this point, right?
Yeah, I would think so.
All right, let's go ahead and put charge. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into the brush. Or do I need to move forward to 1 and then do charge?
So you would move him forward, and when he comes here, he's adjacent to my Cossacks. So then he's got to stop and he's got to fight them. Or, right?
Do I? I don't know.
I don't know either. I thought you'd have to stop when you hit him, right? You
If
can't.
I go to there and I declare a charge, I can't declare a charge on him.
Oh no,
I have
you
to
you
declare on
declare
him?
a charge where you started, and you're
Oh, I
using
thought
your
you
full movement.
No. I thought you move and then you declare a charge and you get the 5 movement points. Or is
That's
that
in a
Oh,
normal
not for a
phase,
grand charge.
not for grand charge. Whatever way you're pointed, that's where you go.
Oh. So
In
at the
a
grand charge, I get.
You get normal movement, and that
So
also
here-
counts with your
Yep.
charge zone.
Okay, so I have to declare against the light cab, is what you're saying. I can't declare a charge against that guy?
Well, what you would do is you'd move the guy here, right? And now this guy is you'd have to fight him, or because he's right there.
But you actually can't charge through your own cavalry. You can charge through skirmisher or through a square, but you can't ride through your own guys. So you probably have to reset for a new charge next turn because you have the swamp on one side and your cav on the other. So you got to line up differently.
Right. So what you would do
And
this
I can't
turn?
move around, right? Like that.
No, you just go forward.
Actually, isn't he supposed to include both of those cuirassiers as part of it too?
He should, but they're
Facing.
pointing differently. They have to have the same facing. What you could do is line up ahead of them or to the side or something, get them all in the same facing. Because when you get regroup, you can rotate them or something, and then all three could charge them.
Okay, so I'm just gonna have to turn his facing then.
Right, or you can, like Murat, because he can't charge this turn because he's boxed in by the swamp and his unit, he gets a full move. He can go any place he wants to his full movement allowance and line up for the charge next turn. Like the grand charge, it's its whole thing. It's like a battering ram kind of thing, but you have to line it up a turn ahead.
So what we do? So what I think what Brennan is suggesting is that you move Marat, or what? Well, I don't know how, but it sounds like you move him where you want him to be for the charge next turn, right?
Yeah. And then if you want other units to participate with him, like he's got the guy he's with now, but if you want more units to join the Grand Charge, they can move up and if they have an MU, they could like line up with him, or if they're regrouping, they can regroup around him, or if he wants those 3 regiments he's got, he could just like kind of stay where he is or move around a little bit, and they can rotate to a different facing or the same facing for the charges.
Well, they can't rotate unless I give them an MU, right?
No.
In a regroup phase, you can rotate.
You can change their facing.
If they're within range of their leader.
Oh, they're not.
Ooh, isn't there a rule if you join a stack, you would take on the facing of the units stacked?
Rick, you could move the leader in the leader phase to be within range, and then in the regroup phase, which I think is still to come, then they could rotate.
Oh, no, the leader's there.
The leader's right there. Valance is, Valance is
then
right
you can
there.
rotate and regroup. Yep.
Yeah, so I'll rotate in the regroup. So I just leave him there then?
Sure.
And then in the regroup phase, I change those other guys?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I mean, I could move them forward 1, right? Since the stack only has 5.
Yeah, you technically have a move. You could move him forward.
You can, and in fact, you can move through your own cavalry. You just can't charge
through them.
I'm gonna leave them there because at least it gives them a minus.
Or you could just charge. You could just charge those skirmishers and be done with it.
No, he can't, because he can't charge through his own cavalry.
Oh.
You can move through cavalry, but you can't charge through it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're a crusher of dreams. We can move on. Yeah, okay, so I will have to remember to change my facing.
I'll remind you.
Thank you.
All right, it is French number 9. French number 9. I don't know where French number 9 is.
Right in the center.
Eric, did you want to move the funny little ADC of Raevsky who's stuck in the Great Redoubt, Ergenberg, maybe?
Oh, yeah. Thanks for reminding me.
Not that he needs to do anything, but it's an extra guy.
Yeah, no, and he's not really contributing much to things. Raevsky, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Mitch,
9.
when you move the cavalry leaders who command the provisional division, that's Dorokhov and Dyadkov.
Mm-hmm.
Dyadkov is a subordinate of Dorokhov, so you'll want to have them within 3 of each other if you want to move them on a single MU.
Oh, I guess I didn't realize they could move as a single MU.
Well, if you give the MU to Dorokhov, then he moves the whole group.
Okay. Something like that. It's about as good as I could do.
You could put Dorokhov somewhere
I guess I could put him here.
like in front of the cannons where the Emperor's battery is.
That was just the way it is. Now I'm 3 with him. I'm within. He's within 3 of, let's see. He's within 3 of this guy, and he's within 3 of these guys.
Beautiful. Except that your Foreland Dragoon, the Eastern Dragoon, he's going to be out of command because his leader can't command through the cannons.
Oh, I thought you could go through the cannons.
Not that cannon. You can go through army level cannons, but not through corps level cannons. Isn't that silly?
Yeah, tell me about what's going on there.
Because it's a different corps. It's like your messenger can't get through it. That's the concept.
They don't see the plumage my hat has on it, that they can tell that I'm important. Get the hell out of here.
They know, they just can't hear him.
All right, so that was, it looks like that's David's guns. So then we're on to French number 5. French number 5.
Oh, that's mine.
Okay.
That's
All right.
Hussein.
That's Hussein's cavalry. Exciting stuff. Let's see if we got something else. And then Russian number 1. I don't know who
That's
Russian...
probably the far division of Fourth Corps.
Yeah.
That's yours.
Okay.
Guys in the woods.
So
Let me
those
finish the
are-
leaders then.
Yeah. So Robert will go first with Hussein and then that. Let's see if we got anything else cooking. Russian number 5. Russian number 5. That might be my guys out on the far edge of the universe. It is. It's my division out here. So let's see what we're going to do here. All right.
Well, Michael, good news. I'm going to get that game.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, my daughter was able to pick it up.
Good.
Yeah, that was.
Which game was this?
Oh, the Battle for Normandy 2. It got mailed to my old address, and my daughter
nice.
went by and checked with the lady, and so she's going to send it to me.
Nice.
Yay!
So Rick, I'm moving adjacent to this hussar that is here by these guns out on this other side of the universe. Did you want to reaction move?
Can I go into the zone of another unit?
Well, you can move through it, but then I think you would trigger maybe opportunity fire. But I don't.
You move into a cavalry zone of control, you stop. If you move it through into an infantry zone of control, you can keep going, but you get shot at when you move out.
Well, do I have to keep going was my question.
Do you have to keep going? No, I mean you can use, what is it? You can use.
So
up
here's what I was
to your
thinking.
full movement potential, but
Well,
stop.
no, I was thinking of like moving.
Oh, from there to there. Yeah, I don't know. It says.
I don't have to do anything until you assault as well, right? I can
No.
retreat to-
I mean, I just moved next to you, right? So when I move next to you, right? So cavalry, not in the zone of any enemy cavalry, or not
if you
exhausted,
don't
not
move
routed,
now,
may
you're
move up
locked.
to its full movement potential. When an
No,
enemy
that's not
infantry or
fine.
artillery moves, voluntarily attempts to expend movement points in its opportunity charge zone or attempts to move adjacent to it. So I moved adjacent to you.
Mhm.
So at this point, you would opt to either reaction move or not.
Right, but if you were to all of a sudden put an assault counter on it during the assault phase, I could retreat away.
Well, I would put the assault marker on it now during the movement phase.
I know.
And
I'm saying
then you would
hypothetically.
move yes, and then during the
Assault.
assault phase,
Yeah.
you would move away.
Right.
So
So I don't have to do defensive fire right now because you
No,
finished.
yeah. So there's not anything. I
That's
I
from our
moved that
planning.
guy and I put him there, and you can stay
Yeah,
there
yeah.
or not. It's up to you what you want to do.
Okay, I'll stay.
Yeah.
Currently.
All right. This
Mitch,
guy
in the
here is
leader
going to
phase,
pull
you didn't
back.
feel like putting the cavalry leader where he can command both regiments. You just want him out front where he gets the one.
There. Hold on. 1, 2.
All right. Those
6,
guys are going to go
10.
there.
Mitch, you didn't feel like having both dragoons in command.
How? I don't understand how to get it done.
Does he get opportunity fire there, Eric?
Who does?
No, I was asking, does
You
he?
gotta be within
He
3
will?
of this is the
All
other
I
guy.
did was that. So this hex didn't move. This guy just kind of pivoted from where he
Oh,
was
okay.
to over there. So I don't know if that triggers opportunity fire or not.
The silly leaders are like Wayne Gretzky. You got to look ahead of where everybody's gonna go, not where they are like right
Oh,
now.
I just didn't realize I can go through here. See, that's
Yep. Because that's the division commander to the brigade commander. That's transparent. But the brigade commander to the units, that's not. It's silly.
Oh yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
It's like the corps commanders to the divisions, that's transparent, but then the division of the unit, that's where they get hung up. Robert, I guess I'm kind of ready to go look at Russian 1 over there. Do you want to go down to game room 1?
Sure.
That's what 602, 68. Okay. All right, those guys are done. That was very strange. Okay. Let's go grab another one from the cup. Number 15. I think that is another one of his. That is Brennan's Cossacks out there. French number 11. You guys know where French number 11 is?
This is was it von Hammerstein or whatever? The guy that is actually in command rather than Wolf over in
Oh,
the
okay.
flank, right there.
So, who all is with us? Is Mitch with us, or is Mitch with Brennan and Robert?
Good question.
He is down
Looks
there
like
with
he's with
Brennan and
Brennan
Robert.
and Robert.
So I'll have him come up and join us, since that's more opposite him, right?
Yeah, I have very little movement to do there, and nor do I have any intention to do anything exciting. So,
Oh, okay.
Let's see. I gotta do.
Hey, so just so you know, Brennan, I think Platov's Cossacks came up in a poll, and Mitch,
Okay.
Michael's cavalry that's over there, that's part of Juno, got an activation. So you might want to pop up to the lobby and check in with us there.
Okay.
Okay, cool. All right, he should be joining us shortly.
All right, I'm done. So move past 11.
Oh, okay. So you just kind of move the guys
I
up a
wasn't
little bit.
exaggerating.
You just kind of put them in a nicer little spot there.
Yes.
Okay, well, that's easy to do then.
Anything else from me?
So in number 5, Robert's doing that. Number 1's doing that. Well, no, not yet. So let's go ahead. Number 6. Who's got number 6?
I'm going to go back to the other room.
Do I have number 6? I do have number 6. It's my dragoons. I'm actually going to hold off on those until I see what David does with Drouot's guns.
You smart man.
Well, it's the sort of thing that I kind of put them on high alert to react to something there in the center. So
A bunch of guns might be one of those things.
yeah, a bunch of guns. Yeah, so I've got some guns and I got a bunch of ponies. So it's the sort of thing like, okay, well, what does David do? Is an opportunity for me to shoot him or charge him or get ready for a future demolition. What's left on your side, on our side of the map over there, Rick? You've got what? A cavalry, and then Mitch has got a division of Poles.
Yeah, I don't have much.
Okay, so we got Russia number 4. That's going to be, I think that's something that Brennan's got. And then Russia number 3, I think that is something that Mitch has. And then number 3, French number 3, is that something you've got over there?
That's Poniatowski's
16th. Okay, let's go ahead and do that. So all those other ones that we pulled aren't going to affect that, because really, I think we're done with all the activations that would affect anything on that side of the map. My guys have gone, so there's only just that one cavalry and the 16th. Okay, cool. Let's.
All right, so you started moving, so let me kind of pay attention to. Oh yeah, did some fun with the skirmishers, did you?
Skirmishers doing what they do. Skirmish.
No, infantry moving through disordered infantry, they have to do a morale check to make sure they themselves don't.
Nope. So disordered, disordered can be with disordered. Good order can be with disordered. It's only if routed hits disordered, then the disordered becomes routed. The only time you're making a check is when routed units go over you. Otherwise, you can move over disordered units and vice versa without any problem. You just can't end up stacked with them at the end of movement. If you do, then you'll become disordered as well.
Okay. So, in fact, I'm just going to go ahead and move the disordered into a safe area. So, control there. And that constitutes less than half of their movement. So,
yep. So they're fine.
Okay. dastardly things that I want to do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, look at you. Turning. All right, skirmishers, they get to attempt to retreat before assault, yes?
Correct.
They
Okay.
need a unit next to them or general train, right?
So no, skirmishers can always retreat from formed infantry. So if you come up in line or column, the skirmishers can retreat before combat. I don't know if you're in skirmish order. I mean, to complicate my life, on Wednesday of last week, I played with Premier Rules because I'm helping play test something for Marshall. And so then I'm just like, what's going on? I'm like flipping through stuff. Okay, what the hell happens now with the skirmishers? Because they deal with it in a totally different way. So I'm not going to say anything until I take a look in the rules so that I don't have to backtrack. But I'm pretty sure that skirmishers can retreat from assault in most cases. I think the only time they wouldn't be able to is if they don't have a place to retreat to, maybe.
Mm-hmm. What?
So it says here, infantry deployed as skirmishers may always retreat from assaulting units not deployed as skirmishers. Units in skirmish order in general order terrain may elect to roll to stand instead of retreating. So if you put your guys in skirmish, then and you assaulted me, I couldn't retreat from them. But otherwise, anybody else, I can retreat from.
So at what point does your retreat movement happen then? At the point of assault?
So what you do is you if you're going to declare an assault, you put the assault marker on, you mark how many hexes away, all that good stuff. And then we would wait until the assault phase. And then we would do the retreat before combat, provided I could retreat before combat.
That's an interesting proposition.
So then what happens if in skirmish form one of the two hexes is assaulted?
I don't know. I mean, you're assaulting the unit, right?
Yeah.
So
here, let me just make a point.
Sure.
If I essentially, let's say that I put a guy right there and then I assault from the front. I suppose he has a path of retreat right there.
Yeah.
With all the pot shots and all that get to happen. Okay, all right, never mind. Move on.
Okay.
Yeah, and he could even retreat this way through this skirmisher.
Yeah.
Right?
I just get to shoot.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you've kind of thrown a wrench in some of my plans here, Eric.
Welcome to Rick's world. You are
Always
getting
look good on paper.
Yeah, you are getting just a little taste of what Rick has had to endure for the last, I don't know what, have we been playing this game for 9 months?
Something like that.
Yeah. In fact, I think I need to mount somewhere here on the back wall behind me the golden wrench for the award I received for throwing a wrench into as many people's works as possible.
Okay. 1, 2. Okay. So I will do that. Um, past him.
Oh, the hell with it. Okay, so I think I kind of have a new plan situated now. All right, so 1, 2, 3. Okay, so you're gonna have to start doing some rolling here in a second, Eric. So he is going to go 1. So you're gonna have a lot of dice rolls.
So
1.
I don't know that he can do that because you can't go from one zone of influence to another.
Oh, you're right.
Right. So he'd have to,
1,
he'd
2,
move
3,
out and
4.
then he could go somewhere else.
Just
Yeah. Rick, this is your fault. Um,
All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I mean, right now there's no way that you can get to this hex. I don't think you could.
5, 6. Yeah, there is.
Oh, okay.
I can take him.
Yep.
Go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In fact, you've worked. All right. Kind of inspired
right.
me on that one.
Good. So let me take a parting shot at you as you leave. So I've got 4 increments there. Oh, and they're going to be, I think, times 3. Those are just regular guys. So that's going to be 12. And then it's halved because of opportunity fire. So it's 6. And you're in column at 6. So it's a 1-to-1 shot.
Yeah.
42. That's a miss. Okay.
So he's going to end up right there, and he is going to whoops. Darn it, wrong button. Let's delete that, and he is going to end up in.
So he was in column.
Yeah, he's going to end up in line. He's going to do a formation change with his 7th movement point.
Okay. Cool.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so these guys.
Mm-hmm.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and by the way, this is an assault.
Okay. So where did they start off? Over here?
Right here.
Okay. So they're at assault range of 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Yep. So they'd be at a range of 3 on their assault. Oh, actually, they can't get there because I've got skirmish cavalry here. So that would cost you 2 movement points to move there. It would cost you 3 extra movement points to go there. So they can't get there. The skirmish cavalry is projecting a zone out into these 2 hexes.
these guys?
Yep, those are skirmish cavalry.
How are they projecting a zone?
Yep.
Right
So they're
there?
yep. So they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 front facings. So this is one of their front facings. It would cost you an extra 3 to go there and an extra 2 to go there.
I know this guy on YouTube who has a video about cavalry skirmishers. You got to look him up.
Oh, hey, Matt, how are you?
I'm well, but apparently I'm not very welcome for things like that. But I'm well, thank you. And I did
Yes.
enjoy that video, actually. I watched it a couple weeks ago.
Oh, yeah. No, that's a good one. I was mostly with 5th edition rules, but the same stuff applies. So you don't have enough movement points for him to get there.
Yeah, humor me.
Yeah.
So kind of help me my innocence. All right.
Sure.
So you have he's in 2 hexes. So
Yep.
he's ZOI.
He's skirmish cavalry. Yep.
So his ZOI extends to right here. So 1 movement. So him. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
5, 6, 7. It costs an extra 2. So he could, yeah, because skirmish cavalry project a skirmish zone.
2
so
hexes?
Yeah, and so it goes out 2 hexes from their front-facing hexes.
Question for you.
Yeah.
So he's cavalry in forest. Isn't there only 3 is the maximum you can be in a forest for skirmishing? Or am I misreading it?
So he's skirmish cavalry.
Yeah.
Right.
And
So
it says
skirmish
3.
cavalry are already are always deployed in 2 hexes. So even if they only had 1 increment, they'd be deployed in 2 hexes.
Yeah, but there's a
I'm
max.
talking about the
3
stacking limit.
per hex.
Well, what do you mean the stacking
So
limit?
he's 5, so he's probably okay because he's 3 in one and 2 in the other one,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because he's taking damage.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he's there's no stacking issue or anything like that with him. He had retreated there a couple of turns ago when you charged him.
Yeah.
So that's where he sought refuge. So yeah, so what would happen is it would cost you an extra 2 movement points to go into that hex.
Even though
But he
his
couldn't.
ZOI
Hold
comes
on.
right
When he routed, did he route
when who
or
routed?
disorder? That skirmisher.
He didn't.
cavalry.
He retreated from
He just
before
retreated,
charge.
just
Yeah,
ran
this
away.
retreat before
Okay.
charge. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's fine. Yes, units don't block the skirmish as soon as the cavalry runs around and stuff.
Yeah. So what would happen
Right.
is it would cost you an extra 2 movement points to go into that hex, an extra 3 movement points to go into that hex. So if you're
Now,
here,
do you have any light cavalry associated to this division?
no, these are my Cossacks that
No,
have
I'm talking
been.
about his light cavalry. Because if he has light cavalry associated to the division,
No, he doesn't.
potentially
The
could move
division
that
is just
first.
infantry. He does have some light cavalry that's part of the corps, but they didn't have an initiative. So yeah. So what Rick is getting at is if you were to park a light cavalry unit adjacent to them, then they would project, that would cancel the skirmish zone that they are projecting.
But yet the Lancers right here.
He has
That
to be
they're
adjacent.
not adjacent to the unit. So if they were here or they were here, that's a different story. Yeah.
They're in command, so next turn they'll be able to move. But
I guess I'm
this turn
trying to wrap my hands around that the ZOI is 2 hexes from the actual unit, not 1.
Yeah, so it's that zone that the skirmishers project. So they're basically, if you think about it, it's a bunch of, guys out on the horses and everybody's a little nervous. They see all these cloud of horsemen all around the place. So they kind of form up and they move more slowly as they move towards them. That's kind of what this is simulating with this skirmish cavalry situation. So it basically slows down your artillery. It slows down your infantry that are coming up that part of the world.
Right. I guess I'll do this then. So same unit. March path is going to be essentially the same, but they're going to move through the artillery.
Okay.
Well, no, they probably can't in assaulting though. Can they?
So you would move them. You'd need to move them. There's only one increment there that's worth 6, I think.
Yeah.
So you could
So I
move the
need
stack through because the maximum
full
stacking
size
is
prime.
18.
Yeah.
So you can move that through. So you could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, you could put them there. Yeah.
Let's see. And then that is, what is it? Distance.
So the distance was 3 from the nearest unit at the start of your move. Right.
I
think
thought it
that's
was
how-
the unit that you assaulted.
No.
No, it's
Okay.
it's when you start
All
moving
right.
those guys. Yeah.
I appreciate somebody else gets to feel the pain.
So the roll to close distance, which is what we're talking about, is determined at the time the assault is declared or when it begins its movement. Use whichever is closer. It is the distance between the assaulting units and the nearest enemy combat unit, inclusive of the enemy's hex, but not the hex of the assaulting units. Cross-reference the distance, the nationality, and the time period with the appropriate columns, blah, blah, blah. So what happens is, the target that you're going after is, 6 hexes away. That's not what we're looking at. We're looking at the distance from the nearest enemy unit at the time those guys started to move. So what we can do is there is a label here. So we can say 3 hexes. And so there you see on the assault marker that you created, I wrote down 3 hexes. So that way you don't have to put a marker there necessarily.
Rick, are you okay if I put him right there, or is that going to jack up your grand plans for your grand charge?
You do whatever you have to do.
You know what? I'm gonna leave that alone.
I can still charge, so it doesn't.
Yeah.
I still have that leftish northwest number 6 direction.
I will leave that, and I will throw these guys there. And
Just
what's that?
Just keep in mind you're going behind units, and there's artillery shooting at said units. Every time they get hit, they're taking them right back. They're gonna route over stuff.
Keep in mind this is also Genoa's traffic jam too.
Yeah.
Which is the whole point.
Let's see.
Hey,
13.
you gotta take chances. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Gotta go. The meek will not inherit the earth, no matter what everybody says.
If you want, I can do 3, or we can wait. Your choice.
What?
It will involve Michael.
Or aren't we working on 3?
No. Michael's doing French number 3. Mitch is talking about Russian number 3. So we'll finish up over here, Mitch, and yeah, I think Michael's only got a couple more units left that he can move, right?
Mm-hmm. That sounds great.
Kaczynski. What's right there? You know what? No. Can't do that. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. You know what? Screw it. 3, 6. Yeah, I'll take the risk. All right, we're gonna call him done.
That type of attitude is why I'm always a cavalry commander. Put me on a flank and let me go. There's just too much brush here.
All right. Anything else over here, or did you finish those guys up?
Yeah, I finished. That's yeah.
Okay. Well, I don't know where Mitch is at, but I guess you could hop in where he's at.
I'm here.
And oh, okay. So
Like I'll just pick up here. If you need me to go to another room, I'll do that as well.
nope. I mean, Rick and I don't have anything going on.
All right. All right. Well, let's do a few things here. Where do I want to start here? Let's start with some lifeguards. Okay, what I got? All right, I guess we'll start with this cavalry unit here. 1, 2, 3. You want to form square? I guess I should stop here too.
What?
I don't know.
Sorry,
if you
what?
want to I don't know if you want to try to form square here.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, let me pull out the. Where's our chart? There we are. How many hexes were we? 1, 2, 3, 4. All right.
Mm-hmm. It's your best chance.
Yeah. All right. He is a square. So he's going to flip, and then unit is square, square, square. Okay.
All right. I'll just kind of.
Okay, he's going to roll.
Yeah, I think he might be too small.
3?
Has he got 3 left?
I think so, yeah.
You start at 5?
Oh, no, you're right. He's at 2.
We'll just move him over here. That'll work. their formation. 6, 7.
7-8.
Thank you. Thank you. Or the other ones that are PRs.
Well, they're here. It looks like they're here under in this hex, stacked with
Thank
some
you.
artillery.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes, that's one of them. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. Oh, wait. Here. There should be one more of those. Oh, here they are. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, that's all the PRs there together. Good. All right. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. One,
Which those guys could make most of their move in skirmish and then
that makes more sense. Yeah.
yeah, because they have to go like through the guns and stuff.
Yeah. So they'll be in skirmish order. So 1, 2, 3.
So can formed infantry march through guns?
Yes, if it's not overstacked.
Okay.
Like not through 3 points it comes, but through 2, yes.
Okay, good. Yeah, because we did it on the other side. I'm like, is that a rule? Yeah, they didn't
You
exceed
can't go the big Russian 3-point batteries.
Right.
You can't move through. But
yeah, as long as it doesn't exceed the stacking limit, which is I think 18. So yeah.
18. Yeah, then you have to be in skirmish mode. You can go through 18s.
Okay, good to know.
I'm going to come into the hex just slightly different facing.
So did you see, Brennan, that number 15 got pulled?
Yeah, we moved the Cossack.
Okay. So David is not going to join us tonight. So we
Good,
will
okay.
catch him next week.
Leaders are done.
No, leaders are not done.
Not done.
So David hasn't moved his leaders.
Right. Okay.
Right.
Cool.
And then I was going to hold off on moving my dragoons until I saw what he did with Drouot's guns.
For sure.
Yeah.
Because that's
to go across the Kolochka.
Yeah.
+2.
Three.
Those guys would probably flip if they're going to go into a line fight. They'll probably flip the line before they cross the river.
The second time.
Yeah.
4. I think I'm at 4 here. F5 to change formation. Rotate. I think that makes for that.
That'll cost you 4 to go across the river because it's 2 for the river and 2 for moving inland.
Okay.
So if you were at 5, then you're at 9.
Okay. For the first J, the third, I see the second. What do with him?
Now, there's somebody here who's in skirmish order. That's the FJ1,
No.
FJ2, J3.
Maybe it's here.
Did you have any eliminated? They might be
Nope, I
on the
found him.
pile of the dead people.
He was just flipped over in skirmish order.
Oh, okay.
So that's, I think, all the J's. I hope so. Bring up some Lithuanians, I guess. Oh, wait. I want to take the third.
Before you get too carried away, would you moving him here trigger a possible opportunity charge from this
It
cavalry?
should.
Yeah, I guess you could try to do that if you want to.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I would like to. Really? I would like the opportunity to charge him. That would be fun.
We'll make the roll first.
All right.
Ah, I
Yeah,
guess
did
they're
you dodge?
not. I guess they thought better of it.
They were having a cigar. They were
Please
having a
tell me you're a
pipe.
13. Please tell me you're no, and you're not a 13. That's
Yeah, that is a rare event where the Hussars don't go do something exciting.
Oh.
What did you have to roll to get him to pass, Michael?
23. No, I'm sorry, 21.
Oh, okay. So they're not the most motivated. They'd rather be back in Germany.
They're commanded by Junot, no wonder.
Could be worse. Could be Bernadotte.
Hardly.
Could be
It could not
Bernadotte.
be. Yeah.
Let's see.
Mitch, you're probably going to want that skirmish unit 1 hex further west than it is because it's right out in the artillery fire zone.
Oh, okay, I see.
There you go.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Because that battery under Bailly, it can't see him when he's back hooked around the corner, but it can see him if he steps out into the clear there.
That makes good sense.
Right, like he's blocked by his own skirmish wing there.
Did you want him facing that way towards our own line? That's a little
Doesn't
odd.
matter. It's a square.
Oh, he's not.
Oh,
in the
no,
square.
sorry, the guy in back. Yeah, no, he needs to be there because he's guarding the back entrance.
Oh, okay.
And he's putting fire onto the swamp.
Oh, onto that hex there through the side. Okay. I guess that makes sense.
You see the second Lithuanians?
Second Lithuanians are stacked with first and second Izmailovsky up at the top of the village.
Oh, there
Way
you
up
mean
here.
second. There we go. All right.
Either way, well, that doesn't really trigger an opportunity charge. So you can't come. The blue hussar can't come down that steep bank, so Lithuanians are not vulnerable to an opportunity.
All right, so that's the first. And so that's the second and the third. Where did I do with the first Lithuanians?
Oh, so
They're
even
damaged. They're
though
in the rear. They're in the deep rear.
Oh, okay.
They're back here.
Oh, those are the guys that are.
They got hit a bit. They got tagged.
Hmm. All right. I'm going to move him here. Then my Isengard. Oh, the brush. Oh, we're going to get those guys out of the way. No, just I think what is it? The Serbians or whatever they SE.
Semyonovsky Regiment.
Oh, okay, there we go. Thank you.
Gesundheit.
One second. Get these guys out of the way. What's the guys? Am I moving these guns now?
Yeah, they could fade back. Like they need to reload, I guess, or they could move as far back as you like. But you're going to want their ADC. Oh, that gun. Did you allocate it over to Eric?
Is that one of them we're sending over or not? I don't know.
Yeah, I think so, because that's a reserve gun. You'd probably want to send it to Eric.
Okay.
So he would go and regroup rather than now.
Oh, rather than now?
I mean, you can move it. You can move it now, and then yeah, you can move it. Just move it now, and then next turn Eric can pick it over.
Oh wait.
So you move him now because he's part of your stuff, but you don't have to move the ADC. Next turn,
Right.
at the beginning of the turn, we will change his allocation to a different division and ship him off, regrouping that way.
Yeah, send him to a site.
Anything else I need to handle there, or you think I've moved everything?
I think you should move the heavy guns that are in front of the Great Redoubt. You should shift one onto Bagavut, and the other one should tail behind it.
Oh, okay, right. Let's see here.
Like Bagavut's a really good artillery leader, so you want to shift over to his fire direction.
Like that?
Yep, exactly. But we're going to leave the Cav commander behind. Exactly. And then you've got that's fine. Yep. Then you've got a square of damaged battalions. They might as well hightail it to the rear. Yep.
1, 2, and we'll get out of square. 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Like, yeah, their job is just to stay out of the fight unless they're critically needed later.
Yeah, they're wounded.
You're going to want to find the commander for the 1st Brigade. That's Preobrazhensky and Semyonovsky. He probably should go down somewhere. That's Rosen. He'll want to roll down somewhere near the front line.
Oh, I think we want to get this guy out of here too.
Yep.
Oh, I need to move Rosen, is what you're saying, right? I got you.
Yep.
You. That is critical. Got to keep guys in command.
And then
what happened to the V? The guy with V is in the name.
Vystitsky, he got submerged under the stack, which is a good thing because you want him on the stack, but you can put him on top.
Yeah. Do you
Oh,
need to
yeah, where-
have? So, Mitch, when you move this guy back, do you need to have that ADC with him anymore? Or could he?
No.
Yeah, probably want to put him somewhere.
Oh, I didn't mean to take him with. Okay.
He
Yeah.
could probably stay up forward, like with the Jaegers here or something.
What about the guns? Should I move the guns down into the ravine?
I think you should. I think Barclay's gun should limber, which they probably should be able to do automatically, and like pop forward, and then they can
All right,
go
there we go.
peg the square off the oblique. Yep.
And
And
fades
then
good. Right.
that looks pretty good. You may want to fade the cavalry back one because that's probably, yeah, you probably want to fade both cav regiments back one because where they're at now, both of them can get zapped by Bailly's battery.
Oh, do I want to move these skirmishers here too then?
Yeah, they should like go maybe behind the gray hussars or something.
Oh, give me a flash. So sorry. Oh, okay.
They're flanking the guns and behind the hussars. Yeah, like that, like facing south, because
Okay.
then
now
they're
I can fade these guys.
now you can fit the cav. Yeah, you fit the cav there, but their commander is here, so you probably want them up close, more like here, kind of thing. Yeah, there you go.
Can we live with that pack? Is that
You need to put one cav there because I'm going to need to run in. The red infantry's got to come through where your 911 is. So you should, yeah, that's better. Although he's now out of command, maybe he could go. He could maybe go. Yeah, one over there. He could probably go forward towards the gray hussars where Lavrov is now, here. Because he's yeah, there, because then he's flank protection. You'll want to point him maybe southeast. He's flank protection for the heavy batteries while not getting in the way. And then Lavrov himself, you probably want to move off so he's not sitting on the unit. He's probably safe on top of the Ognik River name or next to it, kind of thing.
Ooh.
God, I hope everybody's in command. Sorry, that took forever, guys.
Well, so let's.
It's a
So
lot of,
this is what, one of the divisions? This is another division? And
A
this is
brigade.
another division?
Those
Oh,
are
brigades.
brigades.
Okay,
Yeah,
so the
brigades.
brigades.
Yep.
Okay.
The brigade's under Lavrov, so then the question is, does Lavrov reach each of the brigade commanders? 2, 4, 6. Krapovitsky's in command, Bistrom's in command, Borozdin's in command, Rosen's in command, and then you have Kantakuzin, who's the off guy. He's in command. They seem to all be pretty good. Yeah,
Super.
pretty good. Yep.
Happy with the guns in front of the to the east of the Great Redoubt.
The ones to the east belong to Doktorov's 6th Corps, so they don't go anywhere.
Yep.
Yeah. The one thing you could do is you could think about, do you like Yermolov where he is, or would you prefer to have him on the Great Redoubt? That's kind of
That's
call.
fine over there. Yeah, but he's got better direction.
Then he can do 3 in one way or another. Yep.
Okay. Full legit.
All right. So that was the 3rd. Right. So, and then you've got all this stuff down on your side of the map, Brennan, with the 4th, Russian 4th.
Yeah,
Was that
everything
yours?
to regroup. Everything to
Russian
regroup.
600.
Okay. All right. So now we're at reinforcements. There are no reinforcements. We don't have to put that one back in. Well, I guess we do have to do it in case people are bringing stuff back on. Regroup. Regroup is the next one. So I'm sure there's probably a fair amount of regroupy stuff going on everywhere.
Are we going to regroup or are we going to wait for Dave?
We'll do regroup, and then Dave can kind of take care of the regroup stuff that's part of his. So we'll figure that out when we get to it.
All right.
Yeah, I don't have my terrain chart in front of me. These right here constitute fords, yeah?
Probably.
What terrain?
Right
Oh,
here.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah? Okay. Thank you.
I can try to limber stuff out of command, right?
Units that are out
Yes.
of command? Yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna try to limber Gerard's gun.
Oh, the one that was way back here?
Click on the map. That guy, right?
Oh, that guy, okay. A 4. I think
4.
that's okay. Artillery, French foot on a 1 through 4.
And I'm gonna try to limber up Saint Germain's guy that's out of ammo down here. All the way back
Okay.
to the right.
I think he's a horse gun, so 1 through 5. Yep, so he's good.
Can disorganized guys limber up?
Yeah, disordered. Disordered is just, you know,
I'll try to limber
yeah.
guy under St. Henry.
Okay. Yeah, those are horse guns, so they should be able to do it.
I think I'm done.
How's everyone's regroup going? Is it terribly
I'm
exciting?
Done.
Yep, done.
All right.
Complicated. It's too crowded.
Mhm. Need some traffic cops.
That's what we need.
All right. And people that are adjacent to an enemy unit cannot regroup, correct? They're kind of stuck. Correct?
Nope.
Correct.
Exactly.
Okay.
Kind of stuck.
Kind of stuck. That's what I wanted to find out. Kind of stuck. All right. Let's see what else we can pull from the bag then. So we'll leave that one tipped in case David's got anybody to do stuff with. We've got French number 10.
That's the
That's the
guard.
guard. Yeah, I'm not touching the guard.
And then we've got French
Downstairs.
number, then we got French number 15.
That's that cab over on the right side. That's you, Rick.
Yeah, I think I was just moving the artillery up. That's it.
All right.
Exciting, I know.
That was exciting. All right, so we still got 1, 2, 3, 4 chits that will have to get taken care of next time we get together. And then we can go right into fire combat and assaults and all that good stuff.
We do have a couple assaults going on, don't we?
There's at least one over on my side of the map, and I don't know, are there others happening over there on in the far west?
No.
Oh, so there's only one assault happening, huh?
Brennan
Wow.
finally decided to lay off the gas, huh?
Things are crowded, and that's the problem.
The Cossacks and the infantry got their kit order mixed up. If the Cossacks had gone first, then the infantry could have come up and assaulted. But because infantry went first, it couldn't get close to launch the assault. Stuck with fire combat.
There's plenty of that.
Yeah, that's like musketry all the way.
Oh, yeah, interesting stuff happening over here. And interesting stuff happening here in the center. Well, I guess west of the center, if we're thinking about the Great Redoubt. That's going to be messy. All right. Well, interesting stuff indeed.
I have a bit of regroup still going on.
Yeah. No, I kind of figured that or could see that.
Michael, you got the Westphalian sappers. I've got Italian sappers, and the guard sappers are coming. We should just get all the sappers together and send them in.
There we go.
That would be a keg party.
Yes. Yes, that would. I love that idea.
Do they offer bonuses when you're attacking readouts, or
Yeah, one odd shift.
on readouts? Okay.
Yep.
Oh, it's an odd shift?
It's a whole column, yeah.
Oh, wow. That's nasty business.
Like explosives or something?
So again,
Would it be like explosives, or what would be the representation there?
axes, bridging materials, fascines, ladders.
I don't see anything. I'm looking at the rules here. It just says assaulting earthworks. The unit that assault the earthworks have a -6 on their roll to close. I mean, a -3 on their roll to close.
Might be in special structures. Hey, Mitch, you've got an extra square up here that belongs to your 7th division. It's north of Dr. Off, north of the Great Redoubt here. He can probably fade east.
Yeah, I mean, there's some special nasty stuff for the Great Redoubt. It says infantry units assaulting the Great Redoubt through any of its front hexes conduct their melee in disorder. Mark the assaulting stack with a disorder marker after they make their roll to close, but before offensive defensive fire is conducted.
But assaulting a special structure like a church or a mill.
Yeah, let's see, special structures. We didn't have a lot here, did we? Special structure-wise.
There's a bunch of mills and churches and stuff.
Yeah.
In the rules, they're mentioned a couple times, all in association with getting rid of wrecked AAWs.
That's what I thought they were for.
I mean, they're mainly for attacking special structures. If you look on the special structures rules, it probably says something like,
It doesn't. It doesn't. There's no mention on page 5.
No. But what you would do is in the Regs 30 and in Marie Louise, it says all applicable series rules regarding assaulting and charging special structures apply.
There you go.
So they didn't write down all the details for that. They're just leaving it to the series rules, and so in the series rules for assaulting special structures, there must be
At the bottom of page 34, 16,621 sappers.
Yeah, and so usually it'll shift the odds in your favor.
It's really useful in places like Waterloo or Ligny, where there's like those fortified houses all over the place. Then
Yeah.
it's really useful. Petrobras.
Yeah. Quattrobah, yeah, we used to in Quattrobah.
Yeah. The downside is the sappers, if anyone gets shot or stabbed or poked, it's the sappers who take the hits first.
Okay, so not in the series, not in the special rules, but
in the series rules, yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
under
melee.
Yeah.
Well,
So,
you better
yeah.
bring him up and hit me in the mill, man.
There you go.
Bring it on.
That's where they brew the stuff.
The Lithuanians are saying, bring it on.
That's where they brew the malt.
We got all the good beer. Bring those sappers up here.
We're going to get them digging big trenches in front of us and start World War
I think
I
you should
early.
dig in. That's a good idea.
There you go.
Start World War I early.
Moving around like stay put.
Well, let's see. I don't know. Have any of you played Bautzen, La Bataille de Bautzen? That is
Haven't gotten to that one.
That is about as close to World War I as you get. The Russians have it's in 1813. So you've got Lutzen, where the Austrians and it's the Russians and the Prussians attack the French kind of as they're strung out, and the French kind of come and stabilize things and kind of give as good as they get, but without enough cavalry, the Allies are able to get away. So then Napoleon is pursuing them, and then you have the Battle of Bautzen, and it is just a slog match. When we played it, it does have like entrenchments of sorts, and it's got these little fortified villages, and it's got redoubts or gun emplacement kind of stuff that the Russians built. So it's like, okay, here we go, over the top, men. And you've got all of these 1813 French recruits that are not the most well trained, and so their morale is pretty shaky. And oh my goodness gracious, it is pretty unpleasant. So as I said, as close to a World War II type of a matchup, I mean World War I type of matchup as you'd find in any of the La Bataille games. Of all the ones that I play tested, it was my least favorite. So
that was one of those battles in 1813 where the scale of the armies was starting to get completely out of reach of the command systems of the time.
Yeah. Well, and that's kind of why that's why the battle didn't really go in Napoleon's favor. He had everything. He knew exactly what he needed to do. He had everybody lined up to do it. And then Ney, instead of kind of coming around behind the Allies, kind of hit him in the flank instead. And they were able to extricate themselves from the sort of the pocket or the position that they were in. So they got lucky. But yeah, that was so when Marshall's guys put that together, how many scenarios did we have? We must have had like 4 or 5 scenarios, dealing with different parts of the map and different time periods in the battle itself. And nearly all of them were very unhappy for the French. The French would
you
sort of beat their way through, but they're just like, oh my gosh, what happened? Now, Heilsberg, Grim Harbinger says, the Allies were lucky at Bautzen. Yeah. If Ney had turned in the right direction, he would have, they would have captured the whole army. That would have been the end of it for the Russians and the Prussians.
I think I'm pretty much done with my regrouping.
Okay. Well, I think I've got most of all of the people I could think of that needed to be groupies.
Pack it up.
Yep. Hit the big fat save button out there. And
Well, we pulled out all the chips, huh? It's down to just finishing up the moves and then executing combat.
What Dave has to do. Yeah.
Yep. This was the 12-20 turn. Part 2. Part 2.
Allies, you guys
Looking
want
for a fight
to
now.
spend 10-15 minutes just chatting?
Yeah, we can do that. You can fill me in on what happened out on your side of the map. I have ended the live stream.